Hello, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Hot Jobs at HireMilitary. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am very glad to welcome you all to what has been my summer. It's the summer solstice, so happy summer solstice for you all today. You're all joining me in the longest day of the year. I've had it for a couple of months now and will have it for a couple more months, but I hope you're appreciating the sunshine and the long days where you are. If this is your first time with us, thank you for joining. It's really great to see you. If you're one of the OGs amongst the audience, it's great to have you back. And I'm so glad that we're able to share our afternoon with you here today. Honestly, this is the favorite 30 minutes of my team's week. We get to spend it with you, sharing our support, our encouragement, our advice, as well as talking all the newest roles that we have taken over the last week across the SkillBridge internship program and the direct hire opportunities. Also, you get to meet our team. We've got a new recruiter joining us today. Before, I don't think many of you have met him previously, so I'm really excited to get him going with us. Hi, everybody. Howard, David, Chris, Dion. Oh my gosh, so many people in the chat already. Hey, Lisa, she's down the road from me, so hi. We are here for the whole of the military community, whether you are a transitioning service member, a spouse, or a veteran. And we need to understand what you are looking for and what you need. Drop a comment in the chat. Tell us who you are, a vet, TSM, or spouse, where you're located, and the type of work you're looking for. And no word of a lie, we use this information to be able to develop our business and find more opportunities out there moving forward. We work with so many companies nationwide, and we have new conversations daily. So we really do use this information to be able to support you and to gain those opportunities for you. So whilst you guys are all in the chat, who else have we got here? Eric, Donnell, Ali, Michael, Jeffrey. I'm going to pass the baton around and get everybody to introduce themselves. I'll go first. I'm Lucy. I am the Director of Talent Acquisition here at HireMilitary. I am an active duty military spouse, and we are currently stationed, if you didn't know already, at Eielson Air Force Base, which is in the interior of Alaska. We're 1 year down now and a couple more to go. Over to you, Kate. What about you?
Well, hi, Lucy. Thanks so much. And hello to everyone out there. I want to give a shout out to Michael Mitchell. He said he's in Pensacola. I am in Niceville, Florida, which is in Northwest Florida. So hi, Michael. And I am a Army vet and a military spouse. My husband's still in the Army, so we're stationed here at lovely Eglin Air Force Base in Northwest Florida just for a couple more months as we are moving this fall to Panama, which is crazy. And I'm so excited and very, very excited about that move and that whole entire process. But yeah, really excited to see everyone today and just share some really great opportunities. Thanks so much, Lucy. And I'll pass it over to Amber.
Thanks, Kate. So nice to see you all this afternoon. My name's Amber. I'm on the recruiting team here at HireMilitary. I'm an Air Force veteran and military spouse now. My husband is finishing up his Air Force career here at in San Antonio, doing some Army support at Fort Sam. So I'm very excited to be here this afternoon. So excited to see some of the regulars, and we are very happy to share some opportunities. Before, I'm going to pass it over to you.
All right. Last but not least, thank you, Kate. Thank you, Amber. Thank you, Lucy, for the opportunity. This is my first LinkedIn. Hot Jobs Live. I'm the newest addition to HireMilitary as a sourcing coordinator. I am 20 years in the Army as a combat medic for all you healthcare specialists out there. All right. All right. A lot of people, as I'm transitioning, I'm retired, but I said I had done 20 years in the service. They look at me and they say, "Really? You don't look like it." I feel it on the inside. But I found my passion helping transitioning service members. The team right here saw my skill set and wanted to bring it to the table. So I'm glad to be here, and let's get rocking and rolling, Lucy.
Let's get rocking and rolling. What a segue. Thank you for that. So as we share roles today, if you're interested in any of the ones that we talk about, please do drop a comment with the title of the role that you're interested in. But do take a look at the link to our website to apply. So a little bit of housekeeping. If you're not aware, LinkedIn has provided a huge barrier to entry now, so it won't let us hyperlink our links. So you will have to copy and paste it if we provide it to you later. But if you look at the original post for this LinkedIn Live, or if you take a look at the details, if you're on mobile, just shift across, you will see all of the links that we provided, and you can go there and take a look. Also, before you do submit your resume or send us your resume, really consider what we talk about a lot of the time. And if you are not familiar, we can talk about it again today. Make sure you target and align your resume with the role that you're applying to. Make sure we understand exactly what experience that you have that is hugely relevant to the role to which you're applying. So if there are 5 or 6 qualifiers for the position and you know you have those, make sure you've got those listed and demonstrated on your resume so that somebody who knows nothing about you, has never met you, has the same level of confidence instilled in them. So that's us as the recruiters that you have in yourself to apply and be successful for the role. So I'm going to, well, actually, no, before I hand over to Before, I've got a couple of roles that I wanted to mention today. We have 2 internal opportunities here at HireMilitary on my recruiting team. One is a SkillBridge recruiter. So that is a SkillBridge internship working as a recruiter here, and actually would be working with the SkillBridge interns. So kind of like walking the walk and talking the talk at the same time. So if you are available for SkillBridge internship within the next couple of months and you are interested, definitely let me know. You can DM me or you can drop your name and your interest below, and I would love to see that. Hi, Eric. Hi, Jeff. It's lovely to see you, and Ernest. Also, I will be having a permanent recruiter vacancy on my team. Now, there are a couple of stipulations for this one. Normally, I do recruit for the person, not the experience. We love a great personality here at HireMilitary. But for this specific role, I am looking at 3 to 5 years corporate recruiting experience, not military recruiting, corporate, because this is a niche position that I'm looking to fill and I need somebody to be able to hit the ground running. So if that's you and you are interested, again, drop me a DM or put your name below. That role isn't on our website yet because I'm still very much in the early days, but hoping to get that up at some point this week. Over to you, Before. You tell us what you've got.
All right. Well, briefly before I go into the couple positions, I would like to brief overview of the SkillBridge internship program. It's at HireMilitary. We provided DoD SkillBridge program internships opportunities to eligible transitioning service members during typically their last 6 months of service. Our internships are typically between 90 to 120 days and have a high probability of job placement at the end. One of the biggest roles I would like to go to, the newest ones, is a rental coordinator. The company is called Four-Horn Investments, and there's 4 placements inside that company. 1 in New Mexico, Carlsbad, 2 in Texas, Fort Worth and Pleasanton, and then also in Baltimore, Maryland. Again, I was a rental coordinator. The responsibilities, pretty much in layman's terms, they ensure the rental-related functions are conducted in an efficient and timely manner. You pretty much act as a liaison between the customer and the operations brand to ensure the customer experience is a good one. So again, it's a rental coordinator, Four-Horn Investments, New Mexico, Texas, and Baltimore, Maryland. Another role that we have is a production supervisor with Masonite, fantastic company. Jake is usually a great liaison in there as a hiring manager. He might be in the chat. Jake Czynski. And again, it's a production supervisor, and the location is a Jackson metro area in Florida. So I've seen a few folks in the chats that they live in Florida and they're transitioning. This might be for you. The responsibility covers overseeing plant activities and also supervising overall production and delegating work assignments. They would like to have 3 years minimal of leadership experience in a team-based environment. And then also they prefer a college degree, but it's not mandatory. In lieu of that, they'd just like to have some experience in a supervisory role, at least 3 years. Okay. Additionally, with that role as a production supervisor at Masonite, they would like to have previous exposure in Kronos. It's a data mining system that helps with time management, and then also just having a little brief overview with the Lean systems process. So it doesn't mean you have to be Lean Six Sigma certified, but you have to be aware of the system. And I know a lot sometimes in their programs that they offer that training upon the site or during the internship. That's all I have. Again, if you're interested in these roles, go ahead and drop a DM in the chat saying production supervisor, Masonite, Florida, or rental coordinator for Four-Horn Investments. We'll get you the details. That's all I have, Lucy.
No worries. Before that was wonderful. And if you haven't noticed while you were talking, you had a great cheerleader in Kadeen in the chat, cheering you on and getting you through that. So that was Before's first time on our Hot Jobs Live today. So I'm definitely giving him a round of applause. Thank you. What
Thank
about you, Amber? What have you got for us today?
Yes, I have a couple roles to share. These are all for direct hire, so people that are looking for employment immediately. The first one that I have this afternoon is an itemized bill review facility reviewer. And this position is remote. Our client is a leading healthcare payments company. They have 5 major hubs across the nation. But in this fully remote position, you'll be responsible for analyzing facility inpatient and outpatient claims for health plans, and also ensuring adherence to proper billing guidelines. So some of the preferred licensures are CPC and RN licensures, preference for knowledge of ICD-10 and CPT coding, and working knowledge of health and medical insurance and handling of claims. So again, that job title is Itemized Bill Review Facility Reviewer, and it is a remote position. The next one that I have is a project manager in finance, also a completely remote role. This role is actually a contract that'll last about 4 to 6 months, working on behalf of our client, who is a global giant in the IT world. Absolutely, you have heard of this company. So you'll be managing significant projects that are related to their financial reevaluations within their firm. 10 years experience in finance is required, as well as a bachelor's degree with a focus on finance or computer science. They do prefer advanced degrees, and experience with SAP S4 is a must. So not the Oracle experience, they are really looking for that SAP S4. So that's a project manager, completely remote role, working in the finance world with one of our fantastic clients. I have one final role to share this afternoon. It's a mechanical engineer. This is a senior position out of Duluth, Minnesota. So this position will be, you'll be joining an innovative construction engineering company that's located in Duluth. Career progression is steep and fast in this position, with the successful candidate really progressing into their next role, hopefully director of operations in the next 3 to 5 years. So that trajectory is very, very exciting for us to be able to share. Requirements for this mechanical engineer in Duluth are a bachelor's of science in mechanical engineer, and as well as PE licensed mechanical engineers. They do require 10 years of experience in the industry. So again, my 3 roles for today are itemized bill review, facility reviewer, remote, project manager in finance, completely remote, and then that last one I shared was the mechanical engineer. It's a senior level out of Duluth, Minnesota.
Thank you, Amber. And I'm so glad that you reviewed those at the end, because I thought I was going to have to do that tongue twister. Itemized bill review, facility reviewer.
It's a tough one.
It is a tough one. That's tricky. What I didn't mention earlier, and I'd love to put out there right now, is if you have any questions for us at all, please do drop them in the chat. Anything that is job related, career search related, transition related, you name it, we will see if we can answer it. And we do take the last 5 to 10 minutes to go through your questions that you have put in whilst we've been talking, and acknowledge and give you the best responses that we possibly can to those. So any burning questions at all, throw those in the chat right now. Kate, I feel like you may have a couple of roles for us.
I do. I have 3 to be exact. And just want to mention as well, I know Lucy mentioned it in the beginning, but if you're interested in any of the roles that we've mentioned, all of the links to our careers page are in the description of this LinkedIn Live. So that's the best place to go if you want to see full position descriptions. We also offer salaries and benefits on all of our direct hire roles as well. So more information can be found by clicking through to those links. But like she mentioned, if you just type the job title in the chat, we'll definitely reach out and provide more information if you need it. But go ahead, be proactive. Go look at those careers pages and the full position descriptions. So first up, I have a business process trainer. This is a hybrid opportunity, but can also be fully remote. If it's hybrid, it'll be out of Chicago, Illinois. For the right candidate, they are willing to make this a completely remote role with some travel to Chicago. This role will be traveling across the country to the company's locations to perform on-site assessments. This candidate needs excellent knowledge of hands-on skills and SAP. They also want someone who has previous experience as a trainer, specifically with SAP training as well. So if that sounds like you can just type business process trainer into the chat. Again, it's hybrid from Chicago, Illinois, or completely remote for the right candidate. The next opportunity I have is a project analyst. This is a really exciting role for someone that's really passionate about renewable energy or distributed energy. This is a great company. They're up and coming in this space, and they're looking to bring on a project analyst that has experience with electrical systems, has some knowledge of financial analysis, and is experienced with design tools. So if you are someone that is an Excel whiz and has that electrical system background, this would be a perfect role for you. They are a small, very flexible, adaptable company, and two of the people we're working with were SkillBridge interns through HireMilitary that are now full-time permanent employees on their team. So if this sounds like something that would be of interest to you, you can type project analyst in the chat or go ahead directly and apply to this role. This one is also open as a SkillBridge internship too. I just wanted to mention that. So direct hire or SkillBridge for that project analyst role for those that are interested. And then also the last role I have to share today is an environmental health and safety manager in Irvine, California. This position will ensure compliance with government environmental health and safety regulations, as well as implementation of industry standard best practices. For this role, our client is looking for someone with a bachelor's degree in occupational health and safety or 5 years of relevant experience as well in lieu of the degree. They'd love someone that's CPR, first aid, AED certified, and also has that OSHA 30-hour training. But most importantly, you must be familiar with various ISO quality, environmental, and safety management systems. And again, that's an environmental health safety manager in Irvine, California. So of those three roles, if you're interested in any of them, business process trainer, project analyst, EHS manager, just type that title in the chat, or better yet, go directly to the careers page and apply so one of our recruiters can reach out and have a conversation with you. Thanks, Lucy.
Thank you, Kate. So I see that there's been a lot of love for the project analyst role. So I definitely think we've got some applications there for today. We've had minimal questions. So what I wanted to go through was, let's talk first of all to you before. I'm going to put you on the spot and find out from you what that most interesting part of transition has been so far in terms of coming out of healthcare in the Army and going into corporate recruitment. What have you learned? What have you had your eyes open to? What didn't you realize before you joined us in terms of the job application process? You're on mute.
101, you got to unmute yourself before you start speaking. So thanks for the question, Lucy. There's been a multitude of things I've learned throughout this process. Essentially, I retire after 20 years of service in November, still 2022. So what first and foremost I had to learn is to, and I watched it through a lot of the USO Pathfinder programs with Michael Quinn, was just to humble myself. Right? I was a subject matter expert in executive healthcare, combat medic skills, and all just general knowledge in Army stuff. And I am no longer that. I had to humble myself, come in and with a renewed passion and say, hey, I don't know this. I had to ask a lot of questions. I asked you have a great team of talented individuals, military spouses and veterans that know more than me, and I'm not used to that. And then also from simple things and how to write a template for an email to respond to a question. In the military, we have an SOP, or we have a DOD instruction, or we have a program of program of instruction, and we can reference those all the time. In this world, it doesn't always work that way. So what I've learned is to humble myself, ask questions a lot, and also I get to choose the culture I'm going to be in. I had 7 job offers for internships, and which HireMilitary lined me up with. Kudos to Brandy Walker initially out there at an event. And she saw something in me that I didn't know I had. And that was just a passion talking to people and aligning talent, hard skills and soft skills with a career. And I say the team had offered me a bunch of opportunities, and I decided to take this one because of the culture. So.
Oh my gosh, and we're so thrilled that you did. And your experience has resonated with quite a few people who Nick says that he agrees with the email piece. He still struggles with those today, which made me laugh. We have had a couple of questions from the same person in the audience. The first is, if you found a company in your own area that you would like to work with, what would you need to do to get them into the SkillBridge program? And that's a really easy answer for us. We can host and we can facilitate that for you on your behalf. All we would need you to do is to connect with us and connect us with your contact at the company that you've talked to about performing a SkillBridge internship with, and we can do the rest. We can make that happen for you. We can manage the paperwork that goes to the command, or your branch of the military, and we can get that ball rolling. So if that's something that you're looking into, or something that you've been, your eyes have been open to, definitely do connect with us, Brandy Walker, Kadeen Desir, or before Agby, or me, and we can absolutely help you with that. The second question, Kate, I'm going to throw this one over to you so that people don't have to listen to me this whole time. Where is the best place to get help with your resume and reduce the anxiety of trying to fill out 20 years of MOS's additional duties and job roles into one 2-page document?
First of all, I just want to say that I feel like anyone that transitions, 20 years is a lot of experience, right, to distill, or 6 years or anything. Translating military experience is really hard, and trying to figure out what is relevant to these roles I'm trying to apply for outside of the military. So the first thing, just give yourself some grace. Everyone goes through this process. It's a struggle no matter who you are. But second, we really love and recommend HireHeroes USA. They're a fantastic organization. I had them write my first resume when I transitioned from the military, and have definitely used that to kind of, adjust as I've gone as well. So that's a really great organization. And then the second thing I would do is just having informational interviews with people in the industries that you're interested in, and asking them if they'd be willing to look over your resume, asking them what are relevant education, certifications, what's relevant from my military experience that aligns well to the roles that I'm trying to apply for, and use that to help tailor your resume. Because as much as we are so proud of all of our experience that we do in the military, and you should be proud of it, you worked really hard, you served your country, not all of that is relevant to the jobs you're going to apply for, and it's okay to leave it out. Because at the end of the day, you want the recruiters to see exactly what aligns with the role that you have applied for. And some of your experience isn't going to align, and it's okay to leave that off. Leave it on a master resume somewhere else, but it doesn't need to be on every single resume that you send in for an application to a job. So HireHeroes USA, and then conducting informational interviews, finding a mentor, and able to help you to really hone in what needs to be left on your resume that's relevant to the jobs you're applying for. I hope that's a okay answer.
It's a perfect answer. And I think it really leans into, we find, we have conversations with people who say they've made 100, 200 applications and they haven't had one call back. And we were talking about it earlier, Kate, before we came on here. And it really is about honing your search. Don't be that person who says that they can do anything anywhere, because in reality that's just not true. Kate is from North Dakota, I've lived in North Dakota, but if we offered you a position in Minot, North Dakota, would you really go there out of choice? Honestly, let's be real. So you're not going to do anything anywhere. But I think the thing is to find out what you don't want to do, and that really will filter down your search. And then as a consequence of that, you can start looking at positions that look really interesting to you and that you have a semblance or experience that is relevant to that role. You can't transition out of the military doing one thing and be a legitimate and a credible candidate presented at resume where they know nothing about you for a role that is a complete 180 to what you were doing. Now, take Before as an example. He's come into recruitment, but he's doing it in an internship so that he can get the skills, he can get the experience, he can get the knowledge, so that if this is something that he wants to do post-active duty, he has credible time in the role to put on his resume to substantiate his application. So really do think about that. Make sure that your resume that you are creating is aligned, is targeted. And really what we mean by that is taking the job description and making sure all of the qualifiers in that job description are present in your resume. You know that you're a great candidate for that role. You have to make sure that the person who's reading your resume, who's never met you, is equally as confident that you are a great candidate for that role. And just like Kate said, the best way to do this is to have informational interviews. And if you're not familiar with those, go back through the HireMilitary LinkedIn page archives. Take a look at Michael Quinn's page. He writes posts all the time about how to do this, how to go about it. Equally, the USO provides training every month. There's a Mastering LinkedIn workshop, which is all about how to connect via LinkedIn to be able to promote yourself and to create a network where you can conduct those informational interviews. So there's definitely a lot of resources out there. If this is something that's of interest to you and you want us to go a step further and give you additional resources or information, drop a link, drop some information in the chat, and we can definitely do that for you. Stanford has said, how do you DM the panel? Well, basically, if you connect with us on LinkedIn with the links that I know Brandy and Kadeen have been dropping with our pages, you can then send us a message. So please do that. But if you have any more questions, just as I am finishing up, Nick said the STAR method for interviews helps. It absolutely does. If you've never heard of that before, a quick Google will give you that information. But STAR stands for S for setting the scene, T for talking about the task, A for the action, and R for the result. So when you're asked a question at interview in a behavioral setting, so for example, tell us about a time when you have been part of a team. They're not asking you, have you been part of a team? And you can say, yes, I work well in a team. They're asking for a specific situation or circumstance. They want an example. And so using that acronym really bolsters out your answer so that you can give a great one that really will sing to your experience and discuss your experience and give them something to questions back and forth about. And if that's something that you guys want us to talk about, we can definitely expand on that next week as well. Yep, Kelly agrees, Kadeen agree about that. But I think that's about it for today, you guys. So it has been an absolute packed session. We have had so many people in the chat. It's been amazing to see you, new and old. We hope to see you again next week. We're always here, 2 p.m. Eastern time, every Tuesday afternoon. Connect with us on LinkedIn. Bookmark our careers page, www.hiremilitary.us. And we can't wait to see you again next week. We hope you have a lovely week and weekend. Take care.